right, guys, what's going on? This is our special Oscars prediction episode that we do once every year right before, well, typically it's supposed to be the night before the nominations, but currently since LA is still on fire, they delayed the Oscar nominations about a week, so they're not going to be going up until next Thursday, but that's not going to stop us from doing our predictions. I got Nathaniel, I got Kristen, I got Dustin back from last year. We have a newcomer, first time to the channel, one half of the Oscar experts channel himself, Mr. Justin Yeager, aka Brother Bro. Justin, happy to have you on, man.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
it's gonna be good. Like I said, what's it called? Real quick. So, like I said, you developed a little app as far as allowing people to keep track of Oscar nominations. Just talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I recently just basically quit my job to do it full time. So.
Oh, let's go! Good
Congrats,
shit,
man.
Congrats!
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, so everyone, if you are interested in Oscars, I am working my hardest to make it the best place to make your predictions, and I'm adding many more features. Lots planned for this year. It's called Award Experts on iOS and the Play Store, so it is free to use.
Yes, sir. Good stuff. Yeah, no, I've like I said, I've been looking for something to replace Gold Derby for a while. So I need a new awards pundit app, because Gold Derby has like a bunch of other like award ceremonies to keep track of. I'm like, I don't care about any of those. I just want to keep track of the Oscars, you know. And certain years the Emmys, but certain years are better than others. So guys, what's it called? Like I said, we're here to talk about, make some predictions as far as what's going to get nominated. Like I said, we have a little bit of time since the awards are not going to be revealed until next week. This is going to be a lot more casual than previous years. We're not going to do like a specific draft where we're like drafting each individual choice or anything. We're just going to go through the categories, talk about what we think is going to get nominated, some snubs. The BAFTAs did just get released, so like I said, we're in this weird phase leading up to the Oscars where like all the award ceremonies are going to get nominated, and then that's when the surprises come in. We're like, wait, this person got nominated? Oh no, does that mean they could actually get nominated? You know, the usual rigmarole that we do. But before we get started, I did, unfortunately, of course, we did, the film community, of course, lost another titan today. David Lynch, unfortunately, passed away at the age of 78. Combinations of emphysema, as well as, I'm sure, the smoke inhalation from LA did not help. So, yeah, that one, that was a tough one, obviously, for just film fans in general. Consider the fact that he's one of the few to actually achieve, like, for what Tarantino calls the dream, where he did the 10 movies. That was it. He also obviously had Twin Peaks going on, 10 movies and a show, I guess you could say, all very visually distinct, all unique. So yeah, that was a rough one, obviously, seeing that one. Nathaniel, you were the one who alerted me to that one this morning. Yeah. And yeah, it's tough. I already am getting started with my David Lynch retrospective. There's going to be a lot of those flooding out over the next couple days. Is it shitty of me that immediately I thought, I'm like, fuck, now I really got to finish Twin Peaks now, you know? Like, I started it last year, and that was a show I was really looking forward to taking my time with. But yeah, that one was a tough one. R.I.P. to an absolute icon. Yeah. He will be missed. So guys, let's get to these Oscars. Man, what a year. What a year. According to some, it was an incredible year. According to others, it was an awful year. If you know me, you know, this guy right here. What's it called?
Oh,
yeah. What's it called? So yeah, not starting
Amazing.
Fires right there. But no, this
Stop talking about fires.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop.
Too topical.
I know. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. I'm gonna get myself canceled already more times than I have. But like I said, Oscars, we're here. It's time. Let's start predicting these guys. So let's start off with the screenplays. Like I said, just loose, general, freeform, adapted, original. What are we feeling so far?
Well, what are we doing first, adapted or original?
Yeah.
Let's do adapted first.
Got it.
Okay. Oh, this is tough.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this could go any which way for the last two.
Yeah, so I have six right. Yeah, I have 6 right now. I'm still trying to figure out which one is going to get cut. But the 6 kind of overall that I have Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune 2, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. And I'm kind of trying to figure out which one of those is going to get cut and is not going to make the cut, I should say.
What were the WGAs again?
Have the WGAs been released yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they were. Oh, okay. I didn't see them. I didn't see them get released. Hold on, I'll pull those up now.
There's weird eligibility stuff with that.
Right, that's the problem.
Didn't get nominated.
Right, you're right. The WGA always has those ones that aren't eligible. So let me pull. Okay, so adapted screenplay for the WGAs: Complete Unknown, Dune 2, Hitman, Nickel Boys, and Wicked. Wicked did get
Oh.
the adapted screenplay
Wicked
nomination.
got in?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
Wicked got in. Yep, and so
No,
that and
Hitman.
Hitman, yeah,
Yeah,
Hitman
which
got
is
in.
really surprising.
Yeah, because
Which I was
Wow.
not expecting.
yeah, but Hitman's not getting nominated. That's not getting
no,
nominated.
that's
at
not
all.
going to get nominated.
There were so many ineligibilities though that they
Oh,
had
they
to pick
were?
something weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was literally like at least two missing in every category. And so
Okay.
it really doesn't help you narrow down what's going to get nominated for the Oscar because like we can easily say Hitman's like off the table for the Oscar. If it had
Okay.
competition, it wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
That's just how the WGA always is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and nothing major missed. So
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, they've always got that one too that they're like, oh, this one isn't eligible because of like this one microcosm rule or because it's like it's not an American screenplay. Like they always have their bullshit rules that they have to throw in. So,
Wait, but did Amelia Perez get nominated?
no, it did
I
not.
don't.
Oh,
No, it did
thank
not.
Fuck.
Well, that's one thing. It did get
No,
nominated
because he
for.
wasn't eligible, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
one.
that's
okay.
why.
Sing,
Nah,
and Sing
all right,
Sing
never
wasn't
mind.
eligible either.
Correct. Sing Sing was not eligible either.
Yeah, all right. He has a point there. All right. Do you want us to just say our like 5?
Yeah. Just run through, say your 5, and then we'll
Okay,
discuss.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
5. Right now, I have a complete unknown.
Okay.
4, Amelia Perez.
Okay.
3, Nickel Boys. 2, Sing Sing. 1, Conclave.
Okay. So you have Dune 2 not making it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Justin, what are you thinking?
yeah, so I also have the same 5. And what I think the locks are Conclave, Amelia Perez, A Complete Unknown. And I used to have Wicked. I was really a believer Wicked would get this nomination. But the BAFTAs putting in both Sing Sing and Nickel Boys made me say, no, I think those are going to be favored because the BAFTAs weren't even supposed to do Sing Sing. So the fact that they did go out for it makes
Right.
me think,
Yeah.
I
Right.
may as well just make
Yeah.
that my Oscar 5.
Yeah.
And Dune missing there was huge for me. Like I just took that out.
Right. Yeah. Dune. People are really going back and forth on Dune. Like people are pretty convinced now that unfortunately Denny's not getting in for director again. But yeah, at the very least we thought that was a surefire lock for screenplay. But if Nickel Boys is getting some ammunition behind it, which like I said, Nickel Boys was up in the air for me for a little bit, where it was getting mixed reactions when it first got released. So I wasn't quite sure how that was gonna be received. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say. Nathaniel, what have you got?
Yeah, so I have a little bit of a different list because I am kind of holding on to hope that Dune will repeat the nomination it got for the first film. But I have Sing Sing on there below it, actually. I have Amelia Perez. Nickel Boys, I think, is basically a lock at this point, and Conclave is, locked to win. So that's my 5 that I have right now. But easily a Complete Unknown could get in there. I'm just not. It's been doing so well at all the guilds and everywhere. I'm just not 100% sold on it, especially after we saw, what we got out of the past couple days. I just don't know what to think, but that's what I'm predicting for now, and I could be wrong.
Yeah. Kristen, what about you?
Okay, so I have Conclave, A Complete Unknown, Amelia Perez. I don't think Dune Part 2 is going to get in there. I do have like a surprise kind of nomination. I'm thinking maybe Night Bitch could get nominated.
No.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Like
I think
every
that's-
time
I think that's
every time I hear the
yeah.
title, I'm just like I can't. How did this movie get made with that title? I don't
That
get
was
it.
Amy Adams or bust. That was never gonna
That-
happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Like honestly, just hearing the premise, I'm like, Amy Adams literally is like becoming a donut. I'm like, she's stooped that low for like that.
No, but she's so great in it,
I'm
though.
sure
She's so good in it.
Yeah.
Well, Searchlight took a chance on it. The book is wild enough. I read it, but
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know. I just read that premise and I was just like, no, just no, not for me.
Or I'm thinking Queer could get it.
That's a.
I don't think they're gonna like it though.
No,
Yeah, that
it's
would be-
Craig or bust.
Yeah, that would be awesome if it did. But yeah, no, I think they really were marketing that around Craig.
Dominic,
Like,
what's
Lucas-
your 5?
I already said I already said like the 6 that I'm circling around. As far as which one I'm gonna cut,
Yeah.
do I go with my brain or do I go with my heart here?
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm going with my brain. I'm cutting Dune 2. I'm cutting Dune 2. I don't think that's happening, unfortunately. I mean, who knows? I hope it will. I hope it can pull an upset. It's definitely getting in for picture, but yeah, I'm going with that.
That's a technical movie. That's a technicals movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
But
Yeah,
I think the screenplay was better than the first too.
no,
so
overall, like I said, it
agree,
is better
right.
than the first because it's
Yeah,
it's all the
definitely
best
better.
parts of the book. Like going in, like anybody who'd read the book knew that part 1 was just all the setup, and then part 2 was where all the cool action stuff was going to happen. So. Anybody even now, like with the way that like it ended, it's like, oh, they even more so set it up to where they're like playing into the trilogy, and Messiah is going to be like the Return of the King thing, and the Oscars clearly are going that way too. Where again, they shot this movie's Oscar chances to the foot. I mean, they did it a favor by moving it out of 23, which was already crowded enough to begin with, and into 24, where they thought they were going to have a shot, but then they shot themselves in the foot where they're like, oh yeah, Denis going to do Messiah. They're like, well, fuck, now they're just going to pull a Return of the King and wait and give that all the Oscars. So.
Maybe.
maybe.
Dominic, do you still think Dune 2 is going to win Best?
It's winning Best Picture. I don't care.
No,
It's not winning, but it's winning. In my,
I would love to
Should,
see it
but-
win Best Picture.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's winning. It's the best movie ever. It's winning Best Picture.
All right,
Ah,
let's
man.
go to original screenplay.
Yeah. Going on to
All right,
original.
all right.
All right.
I'll say my dark horse number 6 is The Apprentice because I feel like it is.
Oh,
I think
interesting.
it's gonna
can see
perform as I'll explain later on, but I'm not gonna stray too far from the path. I have the top 5 in the app. Number 5, The Substance. Number 4, The Brutalist. Number 3, Challengers. Number 2, A Real Pain. Number 1, Honora.
That's my 5 as well.
Oh wow.
Challengers,
Yep.
huh? Does
Yep.
anyone not
Yeah.
have Challengers? I don't have Challengers.
Me
I
neither.
think
Even though it
Challengers
should.
is such like, but it's been getting nominations around, right? Like in like
Mhm.
critics groups and like people like that movie a lot, and I feel like at the very least it could get like a score nomination, if not a screenplay, because people do really like that movie and they quote that movie a lot, and it's really not the
Mhm.
strongest year in screenplay, and it's in the top 5 in your app. It's your number.
Yeah,
it's the
it's-
number 5 in the app.
It's
Yeah.
been.
It's over
been more of
September
a-
5, which I don't think is.
That's the
Mm.
well.
Yeah.
That's the competition. So I would also have it at number 5, and I was like holding out on it for a while, but I put September 5 in.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
So
Yeah. I
Ooh.
just.
Unfortunately.
I just
Have
again.
you,
It's,
have you guys seen it?
I haven't
saw
I
it,
did.
but
It's
not-
really
not Nathaniel.
good.
But I
Yeah,
think Justin
I also
saw it,
saw
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. It didn't. It's not like one of my favorite movies of the year, and I feel a little bit hostile about it being in the race because I just don't care like that much. I care a lot more about other movies.
what you mean because it was a movie that was genetically made in a lab to win an Oscar and not an actual movie? Yeah.
No,
exactly.
it's-
It feels
not-
too easy. Like it didn't have to work as hard as these
Right.
other movies did.
Someone
right.
bribed like Scott Feinberg, I think. 'cause, like, what the fuck was that? He's just like, it's winning. It's totally winning.
I just saw the trailer for that. Like, literally, like I said, I don't know if it's just like the Tropic Thunder curse or what, but every single time I see a movie and it like
Yeah.
looks like it's made only to make Oscars. Like, I'm like, not a single regular person is gonna
That
watch this.
didn't
I'm like,
look
it's
that
the fucking.
bad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It
it's
didn't look
like a fake Tropic Thunder trailer. Like it's that,
Mm.
and then well, Dustin, for me, it's I go back to like the Saturday Night Live like spotlight spoof trailer with Sudeikis and Bobby Cannavale and Mahershala Ali.
Sure.
I think of that one immediately. Like that's just what I go to in my
I
head.
think Maria is more like that kind of a movie that you like. You're
Yeah.
saying,
Oh,
like,
and
top
Maria,
of
that's
the-
another one. I'm like, yeah,
definitely
I'm not bothering. Like my coworker saw it, she was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching this.
I
I'm
wasn't
like,
a fan.
But Challengers, I think, is going to slip right in. I just
Yeah.
do,
I
and
hope so.
I don't know. Like you're like Nathaniel was like, oh yeah, Conclave's definitely the shoe in, and I'm not doubting that. But who's like the front runner? Like who has won the most, Justin, throughout the whole critics race? Like who's the leader technically in this race?
I think Cole is better at this. He has like all the stats at hand, but I think it's Honora and the Brutalist are pretty close.
Mm.
And then
Okay.
probably the Substance is like in. Actually, honestly, I don't because A Real Pain won a lot
Yeah.
of awards too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a Real Pain, I was thinking could be like a dark horse to win. Like it's my
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's gonna win Best Picture is. I can't even say that.
I have right
Yeah.
now. I have the
Yeah.
Brutalist, but
We'll
that's just
say
because
it
I'm going
later.
off the
We'll
Golden
say it
Globe.
later.
I'm waiting to see what's going to win the PGA and the SAG Cast Award in order to see because here's the thing. I'm predicting another 2015 year where it's like all different winners
Oh,
for
yeah,
each
yeah.
of the guild circles, and then it's
yeah.
a complete like out of nowhere Picture winner. So hey, who knows? Dune 2 could still win, but yeah, it could still win. It's like Amelia Perez wins cast, Brutalist won the Golden Globe, fucking I don't know, like Honora wins the PGA. I'm just throwing shit out there, and then it's like like I said, I'm literally or Substance. Like I don't know. I'm predicting
So
another
unpredictable.
2015. Like this is not at all like the last few years where. The last few years, Everything Everywhere and Oppenheimer just steamrolled through all the awards race. And by the time we got to it, it's like, oh, who cares? Like, it's so weird because, like, good movie years always make for really predictable and boring awards races. Crazy out of nowhere, if you ask me, bad movie years make for more unpredictable, interesting awards races. So it's always kind of this, like, push-pull back and forth thing. Yeah, so Justin, do you have any like major differences? You said you had September 5 over challengers for original screenplay?
Yeah, that's really it. I think it's between those two films. Like, I really don't see anything else getting knocked out.
Yeah, the other four seem pretty solid, consistent lines.
I mean,
It's so funny.
If September 5 gets in Best Picture, it's gonna be in screenplay. It's
Yeah.
gonna be over Challengers.
Yeah.
But see, I don't have that getting in for Best Picture.
That's
then you're being you just
Right.
gotta be consistent with it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I have a surprise for you.
Right, but I don't. But here's like a couple people were predicting a challengers Best Picture nomination, and like I don't see that happening.
I don't see
that
no.
happening.
No, I
at
don't
all.
think Challengers is going to get in picture, but I do think the more popular film is going to get in screenplay, and I think
hope
it's
so.
more
Right,
popular than
right.
September 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
my
No,
opinion.
yeah, that's
But
gonna
it's
be their way of
weird,
like
yeah.
nominating. Because Dustin, you're right. It has been like very, very popular. Of like, and the fact that it's had like such longevity over the amount of time because it came out in April too. It was another one that was supposed to come out in 2023, got delayed to this year because of the strikes. And like I said, the longevity of that movie has really, really impressed me. Yeah, Nathaniel, Kristen, and no other like major changes, crazy things for original screenplay.
I had Honora, I had A Real Pain, I had The Brutalist, The Substance, and Challengers. But then I wrote like a little star like on my notes. I wrote September 5th, obviously. I wrote Saturday Night, ? Maybe.
That would
I
be
don't think so.
Satisfying. I would love
It would
that.
be nice to see it nominated. It would be nice, but I
It's
wrote
funny
a
'cause
? And
I
then
think,
I
like,
wrote.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No,
I was gonna
go
say really
ahead.
quick. So Saturday Night was one I had like a little bit of a eye out for, and WGA's where it could have gotten in, and it was very easy, and it did not.
Yeah.
I
That's the thing
had
about
a
Night
bad
Coach.
feeling when I
also-
saw that.
Like there are a
It's
couple
dead.
movies
Yeah.
that were like totally killed at WGA because they could have gotten in, they could have been a contender, but they like the fact they didn't show up there.
Yeah, I
And
had a
then I
bad
wrote a
feeling.
question-
Yeah.
Go ahead. My last one, and then I wrote Hard Truths ? Because I just watched that film the other day,
Okay.
and that was pretty strong of a screenplay, I must say. I was quite impressed with it. So
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that one, but that one I heard that like all the focus is being put on Marianne Jean Baptiste for that.
yeah, that's where I
think
think
they're
that's where
predicting-
that'll get focused on more than the screenplay. But I
Right.
wrote a question mark. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it could be interesting. Yeah, so for right now, it seems like, again, like pretty solid 4. So Nora, Brutalist, Real Pain, and The Substance are locks. And then the 5th spot were between Challengers and September 5th.
But I will say the weird thing is though I feel like September 5 is like closer to picture than Challengers. So for me, I'm like I'm just going to slot it in for now.
Yeah, no, definitely.
know.
No, I definitely see where we're coming from as far as that goes. Because you're right. Because it's like September 5, we're like, oh, this could get in for picture, but Challengers, everyone, if you cross the board, it's like, yeah, that's not getting in for picture.
Yeah.
My only question though, obviously, before we get into the acting categories, is do we potentially see a Zendaya upset for Best Actress?
No,
I don't think so,
not at
but
all.
I
Not
was
at
wondering
all.
if that was
Not
like
this
floating
year.
across the board.
No.
I don't think
Absolutely
she's made a great performance in that film. I don't think it's worthy enough to be nominated.
Got it.
I love her in that film though.
I agree.
All right. So moving into the performance category, the big
actress?
4. So I actually want to do supporting actor first, only because that one is more uniform across the board. Supporting actress, like I said, is kind of all over the exactly. So
okay, for supporting actor, I don't have Clarence Macklin in.
Me neither.
He's
Yeah,
my
me
number
neither.
6.
Me neither.
Only because he missed out on SAG. It doesn't. He got it. Getting in at BAFTA was very important. But the only reason why I have Yura Borisov at number 5 is because I can't think of another example of somebody making it in at all the necessary places and missing. Like I can't think of the last example. Like I don't even think Daniel Bruhl was like an example for like Rush. Like I can't think of the last example. But my 5 are Yura Borisov at number 5. I don't think that's going to win. It's an anomaly that he's getting nominated in the first place. They never highlight performances that subdued and in a movie like that and as crazy and as awesome as Honora, even though it's my favorite of the year. Number 4, Guy Pearce, because it's going to be his first nomination. 3.
Oh fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Which is
Edward-
amazing, honestly, if he gets that.
3, Edward Norton, only because he has the narrative, even though I don't think the passion is there for like people saying he should win.
No.
2 is Jeremy Strong. This is one of the bolder things I'm going to say tonight because I think he's a guaranteed in. If he gets snubbed, that's a Jake Gyllenhaal level snub for me. That's like one of the best performances of the year. And everyone loves his performances. He's been getting in consistently ever since like the major associations have been coming out. And him getting in is very important. The only reason he's at number 2 is because his co-star from Succession, Kieran Culkin, has been sweeping so far.
That's my 5. That's who I have.
So
I have it in a little bit of a different order because I think Jeremy Strong, I feel like he's definitely like 5. I still think he's getting nominated because that, it's hard to bet against.
The 2 spot is like a toss-up, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, because I think like with Yura Borisov, I actually have him at 2 just because like
of the critic
has
right.
Yeah, but he just hasn't been missing any nominations, and like I didn't expect that to happen. But hey, I'm down with that.
That impressed me, no, because you're right. I was worried that he was going to get shut out and overlooked because it's not as like flashy of a performance. But the fact that he has been getting, I'm attributing it entirely to the amount of attention that Anora has been getting, and the fact that again the momentum of Sean Baker and kind of how he's built himself up as this indie darling, and now is like finally getting all this attention after like decades of work. That's what I'm attributing it to. And Borisov is just kind of like was able to like get in on the momentum.
But also, I feel like his scenes are like the most impactful in the movie.
Yes, every time he's on screen, he captures attention.
In the last 30 minutes. But
exactly.
I didn't have him in all fall. I didn't have him in all fall until he got in at SAG. I put him in.
When he got in for SAG, that was a big one.
But if he gets snubbed for fucking Clarence Macklin, now I'm going to be pissed. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening because Macklin hasn't gotten enough nominations. I don't think.
I think the other 4 are in.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I have Ed Norton at 4, even though technically his track record's higher. I just feel like there's more passion for Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, even though he missed the SAG and whatnot. So I have him at 3, and then of course Kieran Culkin. Number 1, he's going to sweep the whole season. It's one of the best performances I've seen this year. What's that?
Guy Pearce could be out because of the SAG snub, and Yura Borisov and Clarence Macklin could be in. That's possibility.
Possible, but
I don't know.
Because
the Brutalist is much stronger than
so the momentum behind the Brutalist, and also the fact that again it's his first nomination. I didn't realize he'd never been nominated before. Like that was news to me. So that's the only reason why I'm going for that one. But yeah, Culkin's pulling a Kiwi Kwan, and he's winning. He's got all the momentum behind
Simmons,
him.
Javier Bardem, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's all that.
Let me throw out a couple potential spoilers. So I would include Clarence Macklin as someone who could potentially spoil, although I do actually have the same 5 as you all. Jeremy Strong really is like the one who could miss, and the reason is he's not supported by a Best Picture nominee, and this is like really important for any acting category. Like you can't really be considered a lock if you're not in Best Picture, or you're not like the one who's gonna win the award. So that for that reason alone, like you can give like an amazing performance and you could still get snubbed if you're not secure.
He could be the Daniel Bruhl.
Exactly.
Right.
That's a good example. So he can get all these precursors and he might just not show up. So he's kind of a wild card, but I do have him in
so undeniable.
Because just looking at competition, I don't know how Sing Sing's going to do. And I also feel like that performance to really hit and resonate, Sing Sing needs to be stronger. So I'm really like not totally feeling Clarence Macklin for that. And I also think the other dark horse is Jonathan Bailey. We don't know how much they're gonna love Wicked. I don't think it's going to get the same.
I don't.
That was a SAG throwing one off.
But
he's the Army Hammer and J. Edgar.
Yeah.
I won't predict it. I just think it's possible.
Yeah, just definitely.
Stanley Tucci's done, like you guys
said.
In the video.
She's out.
Yeah,
Denzel is especially done since SAG.
Out of there.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank fucking God.
They love him, SAG.
Yeah.
We know what organization doesn't love him, as Sean has put out there, as we well know. Yep. Kristen, anything else potentially to throw out there?
Nothing else different. Y'all had the same ones as I did, so.
Right. Yeah, like I said, that was the boring.
Sarsgaard?
No, not happening. All right, let's get to supporting actors. Yeah, this one again. I was convinced of my 5 like a week or 2 ago, and now I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. So
I have like 9 people written.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what I have. So
Fucking nuts.
I'm gonna throw out a couple people who I think are locks, and then I'm gonna throw out some other ones who've snuck in. So right now for locks, I'm convinced these 3 are getting it. I have Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. Those are my 3 locks. Like, those 3 are getting in. These are the rest that, like, could potentially have a chance of getting those last 2 spots. I have Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Jamie Lee Curtis for Last Showgirl, Danielle Deadweiler, Piano Lesson, Margaret Qualley for The Substance, and Isabella Rossellini for Conflict.
Yep.
What do we think?
I agree. That I actually have them not in that order, but that's my top 9. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
My 5, Jamie Lee Curtis 5.
You put her in.
I agree.
Yeah.
I have
The
to.
BAFTA after the fact, I'm like, oh man.
And SAG.
Yeah, SAG and BAFTA
Yep.
back to back. She's in. If she's better than she was in Everything Everywhere All at
I
Once.
agree.
Well, I'll give you that, but it's not by much. It's not by much.
No, it's not by much.
It is significantly by much. She's way more. She's more of a real person in this movie compared to
He
Yeah.
is
fucking
better
Everything
in this movie. I agree.
Oh no! Again, she is
Thank
better, but
you.
it's still like it's so over the top for me. Is the problem?
But she
No,
plays
she's
that mode so
appropriately over
well.
the top. And this is her best performance in years, I think. But but the way she campaigns so relentlessly, it's like kind of hard to like deny at this point. Like I
Yeah,
just
true.
don't be surprised. I'm sick of being surprised on nomination morning, even though it inevitably always happens for one thing. But Jamie Lee Curtis might not be a shock after all. For Monica Barbaro, I think it's going to
Still
happen.
ever getting in.
I think she's going to happen. 3, Felicity Jones. 2, Ariana. 1, Zoe.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
Amelia Perez, we'll talk more about it in a little bit, but I think that's going to be maybe it's one or only win.
Wait, what's
Okay.
your number 5?
Interesting.
I don't know if
5
I got number 5.
5 is Jamie Lee Curtis.
Well, wait. So you said Jamie Lee Curtis, Felicity Jones, Grande, Saldana.
Sorry, you missed my number 4 is Monica Barbaro.
Okay. Oh, I got you.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Now, so Nathaniel, you were bringing up that you weren't sure if Monica Barbaro was getting in.
Yeah, I have her at 9. I don't think she's getting nominated personally. I know
I
Complete
agree.
Unknown's really strong. Exactly. Like
It's going to happen, I think.
I don't know. I mean, the SAG that is a good stat, but this is like I think Isabella Rossellini has been picking up a lot of steam for Conclave. So I have Jamie Lee Curtis at 5 and then her at 4. I really do think if anyone's getting in, I think the ones kind of nipping at the heels is Danielle Deadweiler and then Margaret Qualley. And maybe Anjanou Ellis Taylor. I don't know, but Nickel Boys hasn't been doing so well, so I'm
Right.
going to say
Qualley-
no to that.
Yeah.
Quali missing SAG and BAFTA was
Yeah.
crucial.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
that was
fair.
crucial. That
Yeah,
she's
when
done.
she missed SAG, I'm like, okay, she's the
Done.
one that they left out. Like she's the Jeremy Strong. But when she missed BAFTA, I was like, oh, okay, she's
Yeah.
not a surefire lock as I
Done.
thought.
Mhm.
No,
I was kind
I
of
feel
waiting
like
for an excuse to take out Quali, like thinking, she is getting showered in awards right now, but I don't know if this is gonna like actually happen. And so when she missed SAG, I was like, ooh, okay, yeah, that's a good reason for me to take her out. And then missing BAFTA was like kind of confirmation that
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's still a possibility. It's on the
Sure.
table.
Yeah.
I
Matt
agree with
Sack-
that.
Yeah, Matt
But-
Saka just commented, ACU is Complete Unknown is overperformed in nearly every guild. I'm predicting a Barbaro snake. So
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
Matt Saka.
Barbara
Yeah.
though
That's
has
bad.
only gotten in at SAG, and the precedent for just being going SAG to Oscar and with no other support is not. It's not amazing.
It's not that
It's
strong.
okay. Yeah, she's sort of like iffy. There's a lot of iffy contenders here.
But it's a
Selena
best
Gomez-
picture nom.
Yeah.
Yes, that's totally true. So that gives her strength. Selena Gomez I've been wrong about everywhere. So like
Mm.
True.
wherever I think she's gonna happen, she doesn't.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's like
it
10
feels
for me.
backwards.
Exactly. Like you thought she was gonna get in for SAG, she did, and then you're like, okay,
No.
she's not gonna. But then she gets in for BAFTA. You're like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
We're
that's
not going to
weird.
double
That's
dip on
weird.
Ariana and Selena. That's not going to happen.
No.
And
I'd be
Yeah.
crazy if
Like-
it did.
And Adriana
Maybe-
Paz isn't happening either.
No,
Yeah,
no,
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 that's
no.
not
Too
true.
small.
No.
But,
But-
that's why I'm like, I don't think the Oscars would do Selena Gomez. I always thought they might gatekeep her,
Yeah.
but now I'm like, maybe I should just live in backwards land and put her in. But I'm not actually going to do that. But she's really close for me. And then
Yeah.
I think Rossellini is I'm confident enough to put her at number 3.
Okay.
Wow.
And
Okay.
Okay.
The reason is just because I feel like they would do that kind of performance, and they sometimes don't shy away from smaller performances like other awards bodies do.
Jackie
And
Weaver.
what has
Similar.
she missed so far? Has she
Oh.
only missed
Rossellini, I think she only.
Yeah,
I think she only missed SAG. Yeah.
She did miss SAG.
So she's got a lot of support.
This category is reminding me a lot of the Best Actress race of 2021, where there were like 10 different people that could have gotten in, and then it literally was like pick, like we don't know who it's gonna be, and then the 5 who got in were, and it's like, okay, I feel like we have more concentrated locks this year. For my last two choices, I'm gonna go.
I didn't finish my list.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think you know what the top 3 is, but I do want to make an interesting point here because I have Felicity Jones at 3. Ariana Grande at 2, and Zoe Saldana 1. But here's a question I want to posit to you guys. If The Brutalist is doing as well as it possibly could, do we think she could sneak a victory? Because I think she's deserving more than Zoe Saldana or Ariana.
Well, definitely over. But if we're talking about what the best performances of those
She's
three,
the best
unquestionable.
Yeah, I agree.
Unquestionable.
I agree.
Yeah, Felicity Jones should be winning.
Yes,
easily. She should be the one sweeping the whole race.
Yes,
but do you think that there could be that big surprise win that we don't expect? I think it's possible.
It would be awesome. It would be awesome. But
okay, yeah.
She might win a BAFTA.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening at the Oscars. I think I think that the Amelia Perez sweep at the Globes. And the momentum underneath that movie within award circles, because again, I still don't know how that happened, but I think it's too strong at this point. And Zoe's got the momentum where, again, she's a Hollywood veteran. She's been around forever. She's also got the whole box office queen. To me, it's her Downey run of this year.
Yeah,
and she's
I
great
agree.
for what she's given.
She's really good.
She's the best of the cast, I would say. But I think if Felicity Jones wins BAFTA, I think she definitely should be in contention for winning. Don't forget about she might be in threat of winning. I mean,
okay.
I don't know.
That would be awesome.
Is going to sweep. That's my main thing. Like, is it really going to sweep picture director?
Right. I don't see a Brutalist sweep, but right now,
sweep.
Yeah, right now I have it for Best Picture. But like I said, I want to see what wins, because like I said, I'm predicting another 2015 thing where it's all different things for all the guilds, and then none of those winners win picture. That's what I'm predicting. So race, right. So that's why I want to see what wins all the rest of the guilds first. Right now, I have Brutalist winning picture, but it could just as easily be a Nora or Amelia Perez.
I have a feeling if it wins screenplay, it's winning picture. The Brutalist.
Okay,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's probably true.
Yeah.
I have a weird feeling if that wins screenplay, it's winning picture.
Yeah, Kristen, who do you have for? Yeah. Kristen,
well, these are no different than these are no different than what everybody else has. I don't have them ranked. I have Ariana Grande, Isabella Rossellini. I did. For my last spot, though, I wrote down Marco Qualley, but then I kept switching it to Selena Gomez. Then I switched it to Andrew Ellis Taylor. Like, the last spot for me is really hard to pick. But then, of course, I have winning Zoe Saldana and then Felicity Jones.
Andrew Ellis Taylor hasn't even been a factor.
Right. Has she been nominated for anything yet?
She got Critics' Choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I kind of put her in.
She's like Patton Oswalt in Young Adult.
There have been a decent amount of contenders to only get Critics' Choice and then get the Oscar nomination. It's maybe one or two every 1 or 2 years, but it could be a sneaky nomination if they decide that never mind, we're gonna shower Nickel Boys. But I'm not gonna predict that. That's not supported enough.
Yeah, because like I said, if Nickel Boys had been universally beloved by critics when it came out, I would be saying a little bit differently. Right, exactly. Well, even Zone of Interest, because again, that came out so late that by the time the momentum picked up, I didn't even realize how much momentum it had got. But Nickel Boys has been very mixed from it came out. People are not reacting well to that, to the way that it was shot. Myself included. Kristen can attest to it. I was not very much a fan of it. Yes, I did.
Sing Sing has more buzz than Nickel Boys still.
Yeah.
Sing Sing is a great movie too.
Yeah, exactly. And Sing Sing is what did that come out? June, July that came out?
July.
It came out in July, and then it had its premiere back in 2023 at Toronto.
Yeah, that's right. We saw it in August, Dustin. Ryan McGuire just commented, the makeup category should be taken into account as well, because recently actors in leading roles have won with the film itself winning for makeup hairstyling.
Yes.
I mean, that brings up a good point with The Whale, too. Remember?
That's
when
true.
That's
true. Tammy Faye.
Things.
The trend hasn't been broken. It's a very hard stat to bet against.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess it's just a matter of what's going to get nominated for makeup as well, and obviously that'll bring us into actress once we get to which honestly, we could easily get it down. But for right now, I think it's safe to say we think Zoe's winning.
Right now, but I think 2 right now is Ariana Grande, but that's a very light 2 for me.
I'm not sold on her winning. I'm not sold.
That's why I think Felicity Jones is a strong 3 right now, and if she wins BAFTA, don't be surprised if she wins the Oscar.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
I
with that.
agree with you.
Yeah, so actress is the other word. Again, there's a couple of other. For me, actress, it's much less.
Oh, we're doing actress first.
Yeah,
This is
it's
gonna be spicy.
well, that's the thing. So
It
for
is gonna be
actress,
spicy.
it's less because I have 4 locks for this category. I only have a couple, and I only have a couple people battling it out for that 5th spot. My 4 locks, I have Arrivo for Wicked, Carlos Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Nora, and Demi Moore for The Substance. Those are my locks. Originally, I thought it was going to be between Nicole Kidman and Marianne Jean-Baptiste battling it out for that 5th spot, but then Fernanda Torres sneaks in and wins the Golden Globe, and that right now has kicked up a whole big thing. So what are we thinking there?
All right.
So,
My number, we're going in order, right? My number 5. I have a snub in here that you guys are going to be mad at. My number 5 is Pamela Anderson.
Okay.
It's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice.
I've made sillier predictions in the past, but like I feel, and not that I think she deserves the nomination. I'm trying to think logistically. Will Jamie Lee Curtis only be nominated if Pam Anderson comes with her, or vice versa? You know what I mean?
I think it would be the other way around because Jamie Lee's got more nominations.
Because Jamie Lee, she got in at BAFTA, but Pam didn't, right?
Yeah.
So.
I actually think that I think I'm kind of like in sync with you on this one, because if I see Jamie Lee Curtis get in, I'm actually going to be expecting that Pamela Anderson gets the 5th slot.
That's what I'm saying.
I know it's no guarantee, and like Jamie Lee Curtis has gotten in without her, but it's really going to be like, oh shit, this is where this actually might happen.
Yeah.
And there's no clear 5th slot here for me. Like,
where did Andrea Riseborough get in?
Nowhere.
Like nowhere?
I don't think she got in anywhere.
No,
I don't think she had
literally
any
no.
precursors.
What do you think about the Kate Winslet of it all?
So
I wanted to ask you about
the reader?
No, for Lee.
For Lee.
Oh, for Lee.
No,
I don't think that's
a
happening.
decade ago.
She didn't even get a
Oh no,
BAFTA
but
nom.
yeah.
Like I should at least need a BAFTA nom.
Well, I guess just because the Andrea Riseborough thing, that was like that one still kind of baffles me, and that one baffled like every industry insider because what that was just like an actor coalition where it was just like all these actors like in the middle of like COVID kind of just like, or coming out of COVID, just like got together and were like, oh, this movie's so great, and they like kind of all purported it and like kind of all like respectively voted her in. So that, but I don't see like a real like sneak in category. Like I don't see Kate Winslet getting that sort of momentum because the other thing too is,
and she's won before, but I'm sorry for just going on this. I just wanted to ask you guys about that. I wanted to ask
it's a fair point
about that. My number 4 is Fernanda Torres, because I read that stat the other day about like when's the last time an actress drama winner has missed out on a nomination.
I have the answer to this actually.
Yeah, what was it?
And this is why I brought up Kate Winslet, because she won for Revolutionary Road at the Globe in
Right,
drama,
right.
but she won the Oscar for the Reader.
Yeah.
Right, well,
And
because the whole
then-
thing is she was putting supporting for the Reader, but then she got lead for the Oscar.
And then I think the only other time it happened was Shirley MacLaine won for this random movie, but she also tied with Jodie Foster for The Accused and Sigourney Weaver in Gorillas of the Mist, and they both got nominated for the Oscar and she didn't. So it was like a weird fluke three-way
Okay, so
tie.
it was like 86 or whatever.
That would have been 80,
like something
88.
89,
88.
Yeah, 88, 89. Yeah.
So I think
88.
Fernanda Torres is a lock. I actually have her at number 4 as well,
Yeah,
because
she's
that
right
is
on
an
four.
man, it's an extremely hard stat to bet against. And so I think she's in.
I still have Arrivo in at number 3. I know, and you guys are going to be like, are you serious, Dustin? 2, Demi Moore, even though I'm still not completely sure. That Golden Globe speech is like too hard to deny, and I think that secured her a nomination.
Yeah.
I think it's
To
hard
me, like
deny
she's
that.
locked in at this point.
Yeah.
More
And the
so,
makeup stat.
more so than the person I'm snubbing personally. And number 1, Mikey Madison.
Oh, so you're not putting in Carla Sofia?
Oh.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's winning. Because I don't think it's winning Best Picture.
I agree. It's not winning Best Picture,
And
but
it's too historic of a nomination that I feel like it's just Twitter wants to complain about something all the time, and the Oscars always give them a reason to, and I think that's going to be the big shock.
Oh, really?
Of
So you think
Yeah.
the Oscars could like
She's
purposely
not-
snub her just to generate
She's
buzz?
not going to get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just not.
I'm not sold on that myself.
Oh,
I know,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
kind
I'm
of
not sold on it, but that
yeah.
would be a ballsy move for them to do. I'm not sold on it. I still think she's a lock, but yeah, I was
Yeah,
mostly just
I
like
agree.
deliberate. I'm like, okay, is Fernando Torres getting it? Because you're right. You guys are right. That Golden Globe win was like, that's a pretty
Yeah.
indisputable snub. Like, there's
And the
never
history
been-
with her mother, it's
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, the fact that her mom is the one who was nominated for Central Station back in, what was that, 98, 99, something
Yeah.
like that?
98. Yep.
Yeah.
What studio is that movie, by the way?
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Let me
I think
Google
it's
that.
Sony Pictures Classics.
Sony
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude.
Sony Pictures
Yeah, that
Classics.
makes
By the
sense.
way, when is that David Strathairn movie coming out? That
Which
came
one?
out. That one that came out at Sundance a couple of years ago, like I think last year, A Little Prayer with her is the guy.
Oh
who did-
yeah, that one.
Yes.
the guy
That's
who
a
did
cute
Dune Book.
movie.
Like I think Sony Pictures like picked that up and they just haven't released it for like 2 years.
Oh.
They're waiting for that moment when there's like nothing going
Yeah, but,
on.
like, you and your brother were talking about it like a couple of years ago on a like, oh, could David Strathairn be like a fucking? And it hasn't even been talked about since. It's like insane.
Yeah, I think that was actually like in Variety's top 5 after Sundance that year because it premiered
Wow.
at Sundance like 2.
Yeah.
I mean that movie.
Yeah.
Like, you could probably watch it somewhere. It's probably out.
Yeah.
I think it came out. It's like I don't know what I didn't even see it.
no one saw it. It didn't get officially released.
Except for people
What is
at
it called?
That's
Sundance.
not
I don't know. I think it's called A Little Prayer or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's
little
called
prayer.
that.
I remember because I saw it
familiar.
in the Sundance lineup for whatever year that was.
Yeah.
So
That's
I don't think I
crazy.
ever like thought that was actually gonna happen, but
It's not out yet, but you could probably
not?
find some magical way to find
shit.
No, he
it.
was on the long list on one of your guys' videos, but I'm just saying.
yeah, it was on the long list. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Matt
That's
Sacker
insane.
commented, besides Saldana and Song, Amelia Perez is going to be the bridesmaid, not the bride.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, she's not. Listen, she's not winning Best Actress, but I still think she's getting nominated. Like the win to me is still between Mikey Madison and Demi Moore.
Yeah.
For me,
I
that's
think
still
I don't
the.
think-
disputable.
It's so weird. that Nora is like
Or here's a crazy
Yeah.
one.
and the
do-
substance for that.
Do votes for the two of them cancel each other out, and Fernando Torres wins?
Oh, that's
Yeah, it could
Crazy
be
take,
in there.
crazy take.
I don't
I don't know.
but-
I don't
no,
know.
I would say that if she was nominated for the BAFTA, like that's some shit like that would happen
Okay.
if she won
Yeah.
the BAFTA. I feel like,
Okay,
right?
Mhm.
got
I-
it.
I-
See,
I
this is
will
why I'm
say-
glad I have all you guys because I'm not as up to date on my stats as I should be as far as the
Yeah.
other guilds.
So
Yeah.
I might end up predicting Torres, but I'm actually really on the fence with her, and the reason is that stat with the Golden Globe drama category makes a ton of sense, but also like, is it because of that win and there's like an afterglow effect to the win, or is it because this year we had an unprecedentedly like comedy musical weighted actress category, where,
Yeah.
like the top
True,
4 was in
true,
that
yeah.
category.
Yeah,
We
them
didn't really
nominating
have-
substance for comedy still throws me for a loop. But
I mean, so essentially everybody in that actress category wasn't thought to be an actual Best Actress contender. Like literally nobody. I mean, Pamela Anderson is kind of coming up still, like kind of on the bubble. Fernanda Torres as well. So, and even, I mean, anyone who would have won, I guess, yeah, there was nobody in that category who was a lock for a nomination at that point in time, and
Yeah.
or who was in a Best Picture movie. So I think the stat could break this year under
Yeah.
this very strange circumstance. And Fernanda Torres, like that is the only thing that to go off of for her. Like there hasn't been an outpouring of support for her anywhere else, and I'm Still Here is really just reserved to that international category.
right,
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like I definitely see it. I think it's possible, and I'm between her and Pamela Anderson.
Mm.
yeah.
I don't think Gascon will get snubbed and Arriva. Like I think it's possible that someone could get insanely snubbed, but I can't really predict it because it just
Yeah.
the odds are
Right.
that they're gonna both get in.
Right.
I think it would be a
Um,
Revo if anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
definitely.
it will.
Yeah, but I
Maybe
think the
Arriva
I think
gets it. Yeah, that's a good
yeah,
point.
yeah, but I think the
Yeah.
Wicked momentum is too strong, specifically.
Yeah.
the
Sure,
I was,
sure.
yeah.
I'm still
people like that
predicting her.
movie
Yeah.
more, even though it's so. We'll get into it in Best Picture, but it seems like Amelia Perez is the crash of this year.
Which,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't buy that narrative. I'm sorry, I don't.
not that
like-
We'll
bad,
get
but-
more into
yeah.
it in picture.
Yeah, like I said, I gotta see what wins SAG and PGA. I gotta see what wins
Right.
there before anything. Kristen, any
Yeah.
any other
Yeah.
like potential surprise
So-
inserts there?
Just as a name, I don't think anybody brought up, but I wrote down Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl. It was just an
Right,
we
honorable
deserve it.
mention.
Yeah.
Right.
I just kind of like I don't think she's gonna
She's
get
out.
it, but
He's out.
yeah,
Sadly.
just a thought, you
She'd
know,
be
because
in
I
my
just only
five.
I only considered it because she was nominated for the Globe, so
I think we also have to mention Marianne Jean-Baptiste. here,
Right.
though.
That's the
Yeah.
other
Oh,
one too.
yeah,
is-
sorry.
yeah, that's the
She's
other
a
one
real
too.
contender, but I have her below the other two women.
Yeah,
And part of the reason is because Hard Truth was a little bit underwhelmingly represented at BAFTA. Like, I thought she would get into the
Yeah.
actress category, and she did, but for them not to nominate Michelle Austin or the screenplay, I think
That-
they didn't even longlist
Yeah.
the screenplay. Like,
And they love
the
Mike
movie's
Lee.
not really taking.
yeah, they do.
And
The Michelle Austin snub was like crucial.
that's,
Yeah.
that sucked. Yeah. 'cause
Yeah, and
Michelle
Mike
Austin
Lee
was
even
great.
talked about how they really it felt like they were snubbing it like at every chance they could get.
Yeah, just
So,
sad.
I mean, but I would actually really like to. I wish she would get in, and she had this critics win trifecta that the same one that Penelope Cruz had for Parallel Mothers, and that's causing some people to
Right.
say that
Mhm.
she's actually going to get in because she did this like rare stat thing where she won like New York
Right.
and LA and some.
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
She's not
so
gonna
It could be
win,
like a
but
Penelope
she-
Cruz where she
yeah.
sneaks in and surprises everybody.
Yeah, for
That's a
right now,
possibility.
for right now, I'm going only because again the Fernanda Torres thing was so last minute, and I would need
Yeah.
to see what else. I'm still going as Marianne Jean-Baptiste for my 5th choice.
Hmm.
Real quick, only,
Wait,
yeah,
you are.
yeah, I'm gonna go with her for my 5th choice.
I
Um,
think that's probably the wise choice.
yeah, real quick, all around. I just want to go like one at a time, just off the top of your dome. Who do you think is winning this category? Kristen, go first.
oof. It's either
Off
gonna
the
go
top
to.
of your head, just go.
All right, fine. Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, Dustin.
Mikey Madison.
Okay, Justin.
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, Nathaniel.
I'd like to see Mikey Madison, but Demi Moore.
Yeah, I'm a 50-50 right now. I'm gonna split the difference. I'll say Mikey Madison still, but I have a feeling
Yeah.
that it's gonna
Tough
end up
race.
being Demi
I feel
Moore.
like it's gonna be like a legacy award for her, kind of like how
We
the
gotta
Jamie
wait.
Lee.
It's not
Yeah.
a done deal yet. It's not
No,
done
Right,
deal.
right.
I don't.
right.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm,
I
I'm with
agree.
you there.
Let's wait
I mean,
till
Honora
SAG.
can still
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure. I
Yeah.
think. And if that happened, I would say she's like even still she's fighting against someone with a career narrative, and that's where it's really hard for her.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Demi was pretty much that. Man, Dustin, you called it with that Oscar speech. Like, man,
Oh,
that
she's
was.
in.
Yeah. Well, no.
Yeah.
Well, we knew she was in. It's just a matter of like, as
No,
far as like,
that solidified it.
okay,
That absolutely solidified
like
it.
she's winning.
That
All right,
she-
let's
she's
breeze through
in.
Best Actor. This isn't exactly going to be a pretty tough category. Really, at this point, it's just a question of is Sebastian Stan getting in because
Yes.
over
Yeah.
Daniel
Whatever.
Craig.
Yeah, this
Five.
is
5 is Stan, 4 Domingo, 3 Fines, 2 Brody, 1 Chalamet.
See, I still have
Whoa.
Craig getting in over Stan.
I
I still
do
have
too.
Craig getting in over Stan.
And Brody at 1. Brody at 1.
Brody's
Yeah.
number 1
He's
right now.
squeezing. I think
Brody's
he's
number
gotta
1 right
wait.
now.
These are still premature, people. We still got SAG. We still got BAFTA. Let's wait a little bit. We got Critics' Choice. Let's
Yeah.
let's
I
cool
think
our
with how
jets.
well A Complete Unknown is doing, I don't think
And he-
Brody's
yeah.
gonna sweep.
He's like I think
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet will get SAG.
Timothy
but I think
Chalamet's
that's
been
the only place
campaigning
he's getting
hard
in.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Dude,
And
he's hosting and musical guesting SNL as Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
Are you
that's
That's
kidding
true.
me?
gonna do it.
That's true.
Yeah, and Adrian Brody can't even go on SNL anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
he's
like-
banned.
Yeah.
He knows all of the
forgot about
cards.
that.
He knows all of the cards, dude. He's campaigning harder than shit.
Yeah.
Like, but he's trying to do
Well,
it.
Coleman
silently.
Domingo is going really strong. Did you all see that he's gonna do the show with the cast of Sing Sing? Like they're gonna perform the play in the film.
Where?
Did y'all
Is he
see
in
that?
that?
In New
I didn't
York.
know he was
Cool.
gonna be in that.
Oh,
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if he's gonna be in it, but I mean, if Coleman shows up, I mean that's a pretty strong thing to do.
Yeah.
I think he's a lock for a nomination.
Adrian
lot of
should.
fun.
Adrian should win. I just want to put that
Yeah.
on the record. Like, he should win his second Oscar. But I have a weird feeling that like articles are going to come out and be like, he's like he might be Casey Affleck in the end and like shamefully get his Oscar on the stage. And,
Oh
like,
man, if that were to
but,
happen
like,
again.
and he
Uh,
definitely can't kiss anybody on.
No,
Definitely
no,
not.
yeah,
Definitely
better.
not. Definitely not. They can't do that. Matt
But,
Saka,
no.
real quick. Matt Saka just commented. Timmy gets SAG. Brody hopefully gets everything else. If Brody loses BAFTA, he's cooked.
That's probably
That's
true.
I
what-
wouldn't say
saying.
he's cooked, but yeah, that's hard. That would be hard.
You have to go with
Brody.
Bath. I mean, if Chalamet wins SAG and BAFTA, it's kind of over.
If he wins
Yeah.
SAG and BAFTA,
Yeah,
then
that's a
yeah,
good
it's
point.
it's a done deal. Like I said, I'm still tending towards Brody, but it's definitely
Yeah.
gonna be interesting if Timmy wins SAG for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But real quick, what are our thoughts on Craig's chance getting it? I'm still convinced
I
he's
think
getting
he's
in.
He's getting it. He's getting it.
There's a good chance he might get in, but I don't think that's an Academy movie.
You're
I
right.
think
It's
so.
not an
No, it's
Academy
definitely
movie.
It's
not.
a Academy performance.
And
But-
I think Sebastian Stan has really just been relentlessly campaigning for this movie.
Yeah,
And
that'd
I
be
think
great.
And he's been saying himself that a lot of people have been telling him, dude, I'm not telling anybody this, but this movie fucking rules. And like, I think
Which
that's
one, The Apprentice or a different movie?
The Apprentice, because
Okay.
of the because of the sorry, but because of the you know, the subject matter. But
Yeah.
I think he's definitely going to get in. I think that's going to happen.
That's
I
the
would
only
love to
reason.
see Sebastian Stan nominated for either
I
War
would
Different
too.
Man
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Apprentice.
But like Justin and his brother said, like on their video for the BAFTA reactions, like him not getting in at BAFTA, Daniel Craig was crucial. Like that was like
Right,
super, like,
right.
really
See, for
surprising.
me, I'm still a thing of where it's like people wouldn't know what to vote for because again, because Stan has gotten so much attention for both. If it was he was getting one universally over the other, I would say okay, he's in. But because he's getting so much attention for both movies, I feel like again, this is totally a me thing. But I'm like, I feel like people won't know which one to pick. You know, and especially because, again, like you were saying, Dustin, the subject matter as far as, okay, like, you know, he's Trump, you know, so there's that. So it's like Apprentice and Different Man. He won the Golden Globe for Different Man.
yeah.
So that's why I'm like, oh, there might be some confusion and Craig
Vote
could
splitting.
sneak in.
Vote
Exactly.
splitting,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's where I'm at.
That's
Like-
definitely still on the table, but he got in at BAFTA. That's what's
Yeah.
important.
Mhm.
And also the other thing too, also, you know, honoring Craig's legacy is Bond. He's never been nominated before, so
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Craig is a lock, but I still would put him in over Sebastian
Right.
Stan, even though I think Sebastian Stan should be nominated.
Yeah,
Like
I
said,
agree.
we're clear about
So
that.
obviously, again, we know Brody, Chalamet, Fiennes, and Coleman. They're all locked. So
Yeah.
like I said, that's why it's a battle between Stan and Craig as far as that
I
goes.
kind of wrote Hugh Grant as an honorable mention, maybe.
Right,
Sure.
that one
I
was
don't
just the
think
BAFTAs
it's
throwing
gonna
him a
get
bone.
it, but I know. And
It's
then
awesome the BAFTAs gave him a
Golden
He's
shout
doing
out.
very
but-
well. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's probably
but,
number 8.
yeah.
Behind
Yeah.
Kind of
Sebastian
wrote him as an
Stan.
honorable mention.
Yeah.
Behind both Sebastian.
Yeah. So Justin, so you were saying that Craig missing out on BAFTA you said was crucial. So
Well,
question,
I
do we
wouldn't
see
say
it?
it was like a critical hit. I mean, Craig got SAG, which was enormous. Like
Right,
I mean,
that's what I'm going with.
Yeah,
So
that's what's
I'm
weird.
actually still going with Craig, but I don't feel really confident about it. I just think he just feels like he's. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how The Apprentice is really doing in Hollywood circles. Like, I don't know if
Right.
people are like still
Right.
allergic to that
Right,
movie.
that's the
Whereas
question.
Daniel Craig's performance in Queer has sort of like it has enough buzz and like an aura around it as like this is his foray into like an independent film where he's kind of doing capital A acting and doing like the Oscar performance. That it makes me lean towards Queer.
See,
but-
it's so funny that you say that though, because obviously, yeah, like the Oscar performance, it's not like, but because everyone was, it's not an Oscar movie, so to
It's
me, like
not.
it wasn't an Oscar performance. It's like an against type,
Yes.
unconventional performance. You're seeing him
Yeah.
fucking like, you know, puking his guts out and like addicted to drugs and fucking doing ayahuasca trips and shit. Like it's totally against
That's
anything
crazy.
that he's ever done before. Literally, no joke. I walked out of that movie literally feeling like lighter on my feet, just being like, I just like even though in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, the ending totally ripped off 2001: A Space Odyssey, but it was still awesome. It was still awesome though. It didn't matter. It didn't take away from it. And I was just like, yeah, like that's automatically a lock for best of the year for me.
Yeah, he's
not
more
to
of, like,
spoil
What,
main
it.
show
but
than
the last question I just want to pose is like, what's more important to get, a SAG nomination or a BAFTA nomination?
Well, it's funny
SAG.
that you bring that up because Nathaniel, you and I were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
The SAG 5 from last year ended up being the Best Actor 5. Now,
Yeah.
was that the? Now, my question though is my
Not
follow-up
always the
question.
case.
You're right. It's not always the case. Was that the case 2 years ago with 2022?
Justin?
Because so our Oscar 5, we got it was Butler, Frazier, Farrell, Bill Nye, and Paul Mescal. Was that the SAG 5? I think at least 4 of them got in, but I feel like
Paul
somebody
Mescal
missed.
didn't get in.
No,
for
not
SAG.
Paul
Was
Mescal.
it Tom
I was-
Cruise?
Yeah,
No, Adam Sandler
No.
for Hustle.
no.
Sandler,
Oh,
for Hustle. That's
oh,
right.
right,
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
That's
I
right. But even then,
understand
we
that.
kind of had a feeling we're like, yeah, Sandler's
Well,
not
no,
getting
that's
in.
where like it's not just like you. It's hard to say, is it SAG or is it BAFTA? It's like, well, if they only got SAG or they only got BAFTA, that wouldn't be very good.
Right,
They have to
right,
get
right.
More than just those.
Right,
And they
it like
both
it,
have.
it
they're both
is
pretty
unique
strong.
blend, but like I said, it was just a case of where like it was more like Nathaniel, like when we were talking about it, where it's like, oh, like it would be insane if 2 years in a row the SAG 5 ended up being the Best Actor 5.
But it happens like a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like it's common, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had more of a stat offhand about which is more correlative, but also BAFTA has 6 slots, so of course-
Right, that's the
Yeah.
other thing too.
And,
but we
it
know the
also had the
BAFTA.
jury in the recent years, which kind of messes up like the stats around what carries over to the Oscars.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like I said, if it had been Stan getting a lot of attention for one of the two movies, I would be more convinced to go with him. But because both movies seem to be getting an equal amount of attention, and since he won the Globe for Different Man, I'm convinced it's going to be a split and that Craig will get in. So
Actually, it is kind of insane. So 2020, it was the same 5 from SAG to Oscar. Same with 2021.
really.
Which was like Javier Bardem and Being the Ricardos was like the number
Oh, wow.
5.
Right, yeah, and I was like
Oh,
surprised
yeah.
by that, and then he ended up getting it.
Yeah.
So it's actually insane that it's like in the last 5 years. It's been
Wow,
more
so
often
there's
than
only
not.
been 1 year that has. Okay.
Well, let's see. 2019 would be the 5th year, and that
There's so many years.
that
later,
wasn't the
too.
same.
Yeah, that one I know wasn't the same vibe. There were a bunch of people who got in for Best Actor that did not get
Yeah,
in.
because Jonathan,
Price.
yeah, Jonathan Price, he didn't get in at SAG, did he?
No,
I thought he
not.
did.
Yeah.
Or
He
Adam
didn't?
Sandler that year, right? For Uncut Gems.
I thought
didn't get
Sandler
in.
was
He didn't get in.
Sandler was snubbed for everything except for Andy
Yeah.
Spielberg
De Niro,
Awards. I
did De
thought
Niro get in?
Yeah.
for SAG.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm like De Niro didn't get in for SAG. Because I remember that was a big thing. Where like, oh, De Niro's might not get in for Best Actor, and then he didn't. So
It's crazy.
yeah, still insane. All right, so overall, like I said, it's right now we know as far as the win, this is going to be a 2-horse race between Brody and Chalamet. So moving on, Best Director. So this is a big one. So
All right.
we know Denis not getting in. Ramel Ross, I'm saying right now, I don't think he's getting in.
Yeah.
What's called? I have 4 locks. Actually, no. Let me put it this way. I am convinced on my 5, but there could be what I'm gonna call a mangled upset because he's the only one that I see potentially sneaking in. So Dustin, who do you have?
5 is Mangold.
You have mangled in over who is my question
Whoa.
though.
My number 4. You'll find out. Number
Okay,
4
okay.
is Edward Berger.
Okay.
My number 3 is Jacques Audiard, even though I hate
Ugh.
that I have to put him in here.
Yeah.
2 is Sean Baker. He's the Paul Thomas Anderson of this year. He's not
Mhm.
going to win an Oscar this year.
I agree. He's not winning.
He's
It's
not
not
winning
gonna be
for
him.
screenplay. I don't know if he's winning for screenplay.
Yeah.
I really don't. I know it's my number 1 right now, but like I said, that's one of the most up in the air races
Yeah.
for this year. But my number 1 is Brady Corbet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have it. I think that no
Yeah.
matter what wins for picture, he's winning director. That's who I
agree.
have.
Yeah.
I agree.
All of the
That's what I
that's
agree.
the most well-directed movie of the year.
Yeah.
Technically, I feel like the stuffy, pretentious people in the director branch are going to eat it up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
They already are.
It's
So.
undeniable.
Yeah, like I said,
No.
only swap. But I still have Fargat getting in because what's it called? They haven't nominated women for the last. Sorry, I'm wrong. They nominated Justin
Yeah,
Trier last
Trier,
year.
yeah.
They did not nominate a woman 2 years ago. So I'm
Because
still
that's more
convinced.
of an Academy kind of movie.
Right.
I'm still not
Right,
sure about
right,
the substance.
Right.
I'm
And the
just still
question is,
not-
right, will the substance momentum spill into the director race as well, or will they snub it there? Is the question. Like I said, since Mangold did get the DGA, that's
Yeah.
that's
Like,
a big.
I have her in for screenplay, and that's what I think they're going to give her. I don't think she's going to get.
Oh, so you think they're gonna Emerald Fennell her, where she's gonna? Well,
Oh.
as
Well,
far
she
as-
got nominated too
could you-
for Best Director.
Well, that's true. She
Yeah.
did get
Yeah.
nominated.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, you're right. I meant as far as like her winning. I don't know what I was going with there.
She got
Um,
nominated. I don't think she
yeah.
won.
Also, real fun fact. I don't know how
Yeah.
many of this I told. Brady Corbett and me, same birthday, August 17th.
Oh well.
Yep,
That's
Yeah.
all we're at.
yep, yes,
Very
sir.
good.
What's it called? Matt Saka commented on its worst day. The Brutalist is this year's The Power of the Dog with a lone director win. I don't think it's gonna be a lone director
Yeah,
win.
it's gonna
but
win more
it's-
than
but,
that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely. I definitely have this as my lock for director. Justin, do you think it's gonna be Fargat or Mangold getting that 5th spot?
So that's the DGA 5 that you listed, and the DGA 5 does not carry over to the Oscars 5 for 5, like
Yeah.
basically.
I'm
ever.
not.
So I would. So like the thing with the directors category at Oscars is they always love to surprise you,
Yes.
and they love an auteur. They love like European films. They love nominating European
Mhm.
directors here. So my top 3 is like Brady Corbet, Sean Baker, and Audiard. I think Audiard's like a total lock. I'm gonna throw in Farjat for the substance. It's a Cannes film. Films that do well at Cannes and then go to the Oscars, like they always get in for director. And this just has like a maximalist style that I think they would embrace. And it also like it's just enough to differentiate it from DGA that it makes me comfortable if it was like substance and then you do Burger for Conclave. And I think that's the safe 5. Like I think if you want to be accurate, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, Mangold is, to me, Mangold's kind of a dark horse. It doesn't feel like the kind of thing that the Oscars directors branch would do. It's like a little bit off brand, but it's on brand for DGA.
And he's never
And they
been
never
nominated.
nominated.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
Never nominated.
Yes.
Nominated.
Right.
Because he's not real, like he's not really an auteur.
No.
Like
No.
so that's
just a good
why I don't
director,
think he
yeah.
would get in.
Right.
Like they used to nominate directors like him, I feel like in like the 80s and 90s.
Oh,
I feel
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
He's
He's
a little
he's
more
what I
old.
call a very, very good studio man. He makes
like
the
Barry
best version that he
Levinson.
can.
That's a
yes,
good way of putting
within
it.
the studio constraints. Yes.
He's like
but
the
not
Barry
an auteur.
Levinson of now, but he doesn't win anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact that everybody praised Logan as being like, oh, it's like this great Western. It's like, yeah, but it's still like awesome as that movie was. I'm like, it's still a superhero movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's
Was he nominated for script that year?
yes, he
Or-
was.
Yeah.
Logan was
Yeah.
nominated for screenplay.
Yeah, that's what I
Yep.
was saying.
First one. Yeah.
But-
First
So,
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you can wild card this category, and let me just give examples of this wild card because it's actually kind of insane how consistent they are with wild carding themselves. So like last year, Trier was nominated for Anatomy of a
Right.
Fall, and the precursor was BAFTA, and Gerwig was supposed to get in.
Right.
So it wasn't that
Mhm.
surprising. She was probably number 6 in the consensus.
More
but-
deserving nomination over Gerwig, if I may say so myself.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Definitely.
I agree too. I mean, and then Usland for Triangle of Sadness,
Right.
that did not happen anywhere.
Right. That
Um,
was out of nowhere.
You got Hamaguchi for Drive My Car, which people
Mhm.
did see coming, but like they're very, you know, if you can see that like indie around the corner, that international film, like usually the directors are like on it.
Yeah.
What else? Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round. That was like really unexpected.
Yeah,
He
that
didn't-
Yeah.
I
one.
think he got
That
picked.
one and
Very well
Hamaguchi
deserved,
both I did
yeah.
not see coming.
Yeah.
So.
BAFTA in a jury year, which was like not really considered to be an important precursor necessarily.
I thought Mads Mikkelsen was getting in that year.
I kind of yeah, people were really onto that too.
He's
Yeah, I
probably
was,
number
I was
six.
definitely in the
Yeah.
comments going, I think Mads is getting in.
That movie was like just behind like sneaking into Best Picture and Mads Mikkelsen. I feel like if they had another like couple weeks or something, they could have pulled it off. I don't know.
It was a good
But then
movie.
you have Powell Pawlikowski for Cold War.
Right. Yeah.
And by the way, they'll snub
That's
like
right.
big directors who are considered locks, like
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve for
Yep.
Dune Part 1, which
Yep.
got nominated everywhere. Like,
But
they'll
Justin-
just do something crazy.
What do you think about All We Imagine Is Light and The Seed of the Sacred Fig? Like, do you think
Yeah.
those are going to be the wild cards?
So I don't think those will be the wild cards because they haven't actually received that much support.
That's
So
Yeah.
I think that they're like an international breakthrough. Like All We Imagine Is Light couldn't get nominated for even screenplay at the BAFTAs, nor
Yeah.
did they get nominated for director. Like there's just not enough there. And I know some people have been trying to call that, but I really feel like BAFTA doing Denis Villeneuve over her, kind of put that to rest. Like
Yeah.
it really has not transcended. Like the other international films that transcend follow like a pattern, and it just wasn't. And
Exactly.
Fig does not do that amazing either. So I think the surprise would be Ramel Ross for Nickel Boys, and the
Yeah.
reason is because that film, like if it got into Best Picture, it would be kind of weird if he didn't get director as well because of that film's like very distinct vision. And it would be kind of like Ben Zeitlin in Beasts of the Southern Wild, maybe Lenny Abrahamson in Room, to give some examples of American indie directors.
Yeah.
But you know, Nickel Boys is not the shoe-in for Best Picture that I thought it would be, especially after like the PGA today.
Yeah.
BAFTA's
Mhm.
nominated it in screenplay. That was the only thing it was even longlisted for. So it's like it's kind of an unknown right now whether they would even embrace Nickel Boys outside of just screenplay and cinematography. It's been kind of getting shot on, which sucks. I really love Nickel Boys.
I feel like the
No
other.
way.
I feel like the other big difference too here is that this is one of the first years where 'cause previously I feel like it's always like we anticipate obviously the American directors and that it's the one foreign director that's always the surprise, and this is
Yeah.
the first year in a while that I've seen where the foreign director has been one of the front runners like since the beginning. Like early on, like when people were predicting war, Jacques Audiard has been in there, and even though the substance is an American movie, Corley Fargat is an international director, so like this has been one of the first couple years where the foreign directors have been first and foremost since the beginning of the awards race, and where the dark horse is like an indie director, like a Ramel Ross, you know, or the fact that James Mangold is a dark horse, like that tells you something as far as where the director race has come too. Because like you were saying, Justin, a couple years ago, like Vinterberg and Hamaguchi were both surprises, you know, and those were like the sole foreign choices in otherwise predominantly American American-led category. Then the same argument you could make with Trier last year, where everyone was anticipating Gerwig was going to get that spot. So,
Yeah,
You
so
know?
my 5, like, it would be wise to do Edward Berger, and I might just swap him for Ramel Ross for the fucking hell of trying to get this category right for once.
Yeah.
Like, I might be behind on this one, and I could have gotten like an easy 5. I really don't think it's wise to predict Ramel Ross.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think
Yeah.
it's wise to predict
Yeah.
Edward Berger.
Mhm.
He has
Yeah, I
every
knocked him
single
out a while
precursor,
ago.
but I'm just gonna do it for the hell of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick Ramel Ross instead of Edward Berger. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel right. It's not an easy swap, but like. That's
Justin,
just
it's
what I'm
funny you
doing.
mentioned that. I think the last time that I got Best Director, like all 5, was 2019. I'm pretty sure was the
Oh,
last
wow.
time. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Because what was that? That was obviously Tarantino,
Oh, yeah.
Scorsese,
Phillips?
Todd.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Todd
because
Phillips.
everyone was
Wow.
thinking. No, because everyone was convinced that the little bit of Joker back, and there wasn't much, but the little bit of Joker backlash was gonna get Taika in over Todd. And I'm like, no, it's gonna be Todd, and then
People
Todd
thought
ended
it
up
was
getting
Should've
it.
been
Gerwig actually
Taika.
Yeah.
for Little Women.
No,
like,
I
if you were
thought it
looking
Oh,
at
yeah,
that
yeah.
I
as-
see. I
You're
never
right,
thought
you're right.
Gerwig was happening. I didn't think
Taika-
Gerwig had enough momentum behind her for
Taika
that
is
to happen.
exactly like Mangold right now, where he only had DGA, I think.
Mm.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah, because Gerwig had DGA, but I'm like, Phillips had something else, and I'm just like, Joker just had too much momentum behind it too that year, and I'm like, it's gonna be Todd Phillips. And then
Yeah,
it was. So.
people were kind of hope dicting that Joker wouldn't get director.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, Nathaniel, Chris, you guys got any other major contributions for that category?
No.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I think, I'll just state my 5 because, I think it is worth mentioning because I do think that there of course are some, spoilers. It could be Ramel Ross, obviously. I mean, I would give it to Denis, but
I
you
wanted
know,
to be
I-
Denny. I want Denny to be in,
Yeah,
so badly.
he very slight chance, but I don't think he's getting in. So I have Edward Berger at 5. I'd be happy to see that, but I also have Coralie Farjeon at 4. Honestly, if out of the 4, like the 5, I think will get nominated, I think she should win. But because that's such a strong visual film, and I really do think that the Oscars are going to go for it. It's such an undeniable vision. We'd never see, even though it combines a lot of different elements from a bunch of different movies. It feels like so wholly original. I think it's hard to deny. And then Jacques Audiard for some fucking reason. And then I have Sean Baker and then Brady Corbet at number 1. And I just think the passion for that movie, what he did with it, I really think he's deserving. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen, any other
Okay.
major?
Not really. I have Sean Baker, Edward Berger, Corbett, Odiard, Coraline. But then I wrote down John M. Chu, maybe, because I know there was some backlash, like when he wasn't nominated for the Golden Globe. Like a lot of people came out on Twitter and were like, yeah, why isn't he nominated? So
Yeah.
I kind of wrote down as acknowledgement, but I don't think so. But I would also love to see
Yeah.
Denis in there as well. I think he's deserving
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
most out of everybody
Insane
here.
how Dune has fallen. It's like
Yeah,
really-
it's kind of
Friggin'
nuts
nuts,
because
man.
I mean, even if we're making the comparison to Lord of the Rings, which this has gotten the most comparisons to, I mean, obviously, Jackson won for the third one. He was famously not nominated for Two Towers, but he still got nominated for Fellowship.
Yeah.
And obviously, Denis again the snub for Raisuke, which again, like you were saying, Justin, the indie circle saw that coming, but like I was convinced that he was getting in, and then that one came out of nowhere, and that's why I was really hoping they were going to give it to him, but clearly I don't think it's happening. So, like I was saying before, they're saving all their chips for Messiah. That's gonna be the
see.
one,
It's
and then
like
we'll
a
see.
totally different film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so weird
who
how they're
knows?
positioning that as like the
Yeah.
third one, because if we're talking about like big, grandiose, climactic third act movies, like Messiah, for those who have read the
Yeah.
book, that's about as far from a
Yeah.
grand climactic third act as you could possibly get.
I just don't
Like,
know how you can get better than this one.
well,
so
you're not
that's
like
gonna
just
be hard.
based off the
Yeah.
plot of the book, like physically, like Messiah. The only reason why Herbert wrote Messiah was because he saw how people were reacting to Dune. And they were
Yeah.
getting the totally wrong idea of what he was trying to go. It was like people are praising Paul Atreides. They're like, no, that's not the point. That's not what you're supposed to do. And he wrote Messiah as this whole, as basically as this epilogue story. And then obviously he kind of lost his mind and then went off and wrote Children of Dune and got Emperor Dune and all the rest of the book. So,
one final person I want to mention. I don't think he's gonna get nominated, but I wrote down Luke Guadagnino for Challengers.
that would be
Mm,
cool.
that'd be good.
That would be
That'd be
cool if
good.
that happened. But yeah, I don't think that's happening.
I'd put him
So-
in my 5. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, you guys have convinced me that Fargat is still my fifth choice. I still have Corbett winning. So, all right, people, we're here at the big one picture. Here we are. So right now, I originally had 8 locks. Now I'm down to 7 because now I'm not convinced if Nickel Boys is getting in.
I think
Mhm.
there's 6 locks.
So my 7 that I have Complete
8.
Unknown. I have Complete Unknown, Honora, Brutalist, Conclave, Dune 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked. Actually, I'm wrong. I have 8. Sorry, 8. You're right, Nathaniel. The Substance. That's my 8th choice. As far as what 9 and 10 are going to be, right now I have Sing Sing and Nickel Boys. But I still think that other things could knock it out. September 5 could knock it out. Do we again? Even though it's unlikely, a potential challengers nomination could knock it out. So what are we thinking?
All right, let me go. September 5 got in at PGA.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, PGA's came out too.
And it got in only at the Golden Globes, right? For picture
For
drama.
picture
It
drama.
didn't get in for screenplay.
No.
Watch it just get in for picture.
I'm
That's
worried.
my
Yep.
number 10. Number 10, September 5. Number 9, The Substance. Number 8, A Real Pain. Number 7, Dune Part 2. My number 6, these are the locks. A Complete Unknown, 5, Wicked, 4, Conclave, 3, Amelia Perez. And unless Ted Sarandos is the next Harvey Weinstein, it's not winning Best Picture. This should not be Netflix's first Best Picture.
Absolutely not.
All right?
Absolutely
You
not.
kidding me?
No.
2, Honora, 1, Brutalist.
Okay, so you don't think Dune 2 is getting in?
No,
No,
you
I
said
think
that.
no. I
He said Dune.
Oh, you
I
said
said
Dune 2.
Dune.
Okay, I
don't
missed that.
think Sing Sing's getting in.
You don't think Sing Sing's getting in? It's funny because
Oh.
when I had to choose between Real Pain and Sing Sing, I knocked Real Pain. I thought that was going to get snubbed and only going to get screenplay. So you think it's going to get picture because you think the Culkin momentum will help with it?
I'm doing the PGA 10.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Mm.
The PGA, I just realized that. Like A Real Pain is like getting in at PGA is like just blowing my mind.
Okay.
That's like awesome. Like
Yeah.
that's so like that's cool.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't realize that it had gotten released.
Did Sideways even get in at PGA? Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
That
Like,
I don't know.
No.
That's crazy to me. Like it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't realize they got released. Let me see here. Brutalist, Unknown, Conclave, Dune 2, Amelia Perez, Real Pain, September 5, Substance, Wicked. Yeah, that could be our 10. That could be our 10. Like I said, unless Sing Sing knocks out September 5, yeah, that could be our 10.
That's how weak of a race it is.
Yeah.
That's something like The Substance, like I'm saying, isn't like a typical Oscar movie. Could
No.
squeeze in because of how weak of a race it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think it's been getting so much support, like above the line. I think it's like a lock. I mean, I'll get into
Yeah.
mine in a little bit, but I
Right.
do think that's pretty locked in there.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then obviously, I know we
Yeah.
said we weren't going to talk about the animated race, but Moana 2 did get in over Memoirs of a Snail.
Yeah,
so...
Yeah.
no, fuck that. Fuck that. That's no, fuck. Memoir of a
Yeah.
Snail all the way.
All right. I just want to see. I'm like, is there a chance? I'm like, okay, yeah, because
No, that's like the best animated movie of the year.
yeah, because like they
Never
usually don't
nominated.
nominate. They usually don't nominate multiple Disney sequels because famously, Toy Story 4 was a lock in 2019, and everyone was convinced Frozen 2 was getting in, and then Klaus got in over it. So
Yeah.
and since Inside Out 2 has all the momentum, and it's the box office like smash of the summer. You know, like I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's it. You think Moana 2 will get in?
No, Inside Out too.
No, Inside Out 2 is the lock. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying like
Yeah.
if
Oh,
Moana
I'm
2
so
somehow
sorry.
gets in over Memoirs of a Snail. No, Inside Out 2 is beyond a lock. And if
I
not
don't
for
think Moana. No, Memoir of a Snail is in. Flo is in. And what's the
Flo
other
could
one?
win.
Wallace and Gromit and Wild Robot are the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though Flo
Oh, the
won
Wild Robot is in. Maybe Wallace and Gromit is in, but
No, Wallace and Gromit is in.
could be-
Wallace
No,
and Gromit's
yeah,
been nominated for
Aardman has
everything.
never missed. None of those Wallace and Gromit films have missed a nomination.
Yeah.
So-
It's
Did
true.
the Chicken Run sequel miss?
Yeah,
Chick
but
Run
it's not
sequel
Wallace
missed.
and Gromit. So
Yeah, it's
okay,
true.
all right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So real quick. Picture. Justin. What are we thinking here?
All right, so in order right now, which could change: Honora, Amelia Perez, The Brutalist, Wicked. Oh shoot, I should no. Conclave is wait. I'm reading something else. Never mind. Let
Whoa.
me just go off of what I actually think. Honora, Amelia Perez, Conclave, The Brutalist, Wicked, A Complete Unknown, The Substance, Dune Part 2, September 5, Nickel Boys.
Okay.
And
so you have
let me
Nickel
just
Boys
say,
getting
my
in.
guess is as good as yours for the last two slots. Like I don't.
Yeah.
feel
I
confident.
really don't
I
know
don't
what's
have
getting
more
in.
Brutalist to 4,
stats
though,
to show
huh?
you. I have no more stats to show you for those films than A Real Pain or Sing Sing. Like
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right. But
A real pain getting in over Nickel Boys for PGAs is very surprising. I will say that. I
Over
did not
both
see
of
that coming.
those,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Over
A Real
Sing Sing
Pain also
and Nickel
didn't
Boys.
get Critics' Choice, which like it would be weird for an American indie to get Best Picture and not get Critics' Choice.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I was like worried that Nickel Boys wouldn't get Critics' Choice, and then it would look really bad for the Oscar nomination. And so
Yeah.
I would apply that to A Real Pain. Like that was a weird one to miss, but getting PGA, again, like kind of balances it out. And I think the real thing that A Real Pain has going for it is that supporting actor win.
Yes, I was just
So
gonna say that.
That's super important. Like getting up on stage.
Right.
And it's
also
a
you have,
threat
like,
for
screenplay
screenplay.
lock.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know about like winning screenplay. I'm not sure about that, but there's a good argument for why A Real Pain gets Best Picture, and I love A Real Pain.
Yeah.
The only film I'm not rooting for is September 5, not because it's bad, just because I think it's
Yeah,
not
just
as
because it was
good.
made in an Oscar line.
Like,
It's not a
these
real movie.
Yeah.
three in the bottom are like some of my favorite movies of the year. They're like top 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like this is also like how many of these movies are in my Nora, Brutalist,
One,
Dune 2, and so like 4 of these movies are in my top 10 of the year. So
Yeah.
four of
But-
them are.
yeah,
But Justin, I want to ask you, Brutalist at 4, huh?
Yeah, I just don't think it. Well, so I'm really looking at this race as what wins PGA and or SAG, and I don't think Brutalist is going to win. Well, obviously not going to win SAG.
Yeah, it's
and I
not gonna
don't
win
think
SAG,
win
No,
So-
it's not going to.
yeah,
So whatever wins PGA or whatever wins SAG is going to be like considered the front runners. So I think the real race is like, it could be Amelia Perez and Honora. It could be I think Amelia Perez,
Yeah.
Nora, and Conclave.
It's-
like,
I'm
right
telling
now.
you,
Yeah.
I
Conclave
don't-
could sneak a
I
win.
don't
Yeah.
see Conclave
Yeah.
sneaking in a win. I see this between
Ah.
Nora,
The
Brutalist,
preferential ballot.
Amelia Perez. I see this between a Nora Brutalist and Amelia Perez, and potentially a wicked snub. That's the one I'm the least convinced on, but it could be the one where it's like, oh, the wicked crowd. Like again, I'm not convinced
I don't
at
know.
all.
But
But
how
I
could
don't think
Honora
so.
win? Could Honora win with just the Best Actress win?
It would win with screenplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
agree.
even
right,
know
but
if
we
it would
already
win.
said that that's not getting screenplay.
And we already
What,
we already
Honora?
said we already said that it like screenplay is kind of like a toss up almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
screenplay for
absolutely.
me is between Substance and Real Pain right now.
I still go
Yeah.
with Baker though. I think he still could win that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
the
it's
screenplay might not go to Honora, and then it doesn't win Best Picture. It's just
Yeah.
a prize that could win.
Right.
And I actually do think it's pretty likely to win Best Screenplay at this point. Like I would put it in even if I didn't think
Yeah.
Honora was winning
I agree.
Picture.
Yeah.
Right now, I still have Brutalist at 1, but I'm waiting. Like I said, like you were saying, Justin, I'm waiting to see what gets SAG and PGA because like
Yeah.
it's another 2015 year. Because Dustin, what precursor did Spotlight win? Was that
Oh,
did
it
that
was
did that
just
get
Critics'
SAG?
Choice.
It was just
No,
Critics'
that's actually
Choice.
a super interesting year because
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
that
because
film, like I mean that's
The
why I think
Revenant
Honora
year.
is going to win Critics' Choice still. Maybe not. It's not a guarantee, but I do think it's going to win Critics' Choice. And
Yeah.
Spotlight only won screenplay. Like that's all. It didn't do well
Yeah.
with acting prizes throughout the season. It barely eked in like Mark Ruffalo in supporting actor. It got snubbed for both. I don't think any. I think it just got ensemble at SAG, but it did win ensemble.
Rachel
It won
McAdams
for
was
prequels.
nominated for an Oscar.
yes, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Surprisingly,
Spotlight.
She
yeah.
was
Yes.
nominated for the Oscar, but that's right. Also for the Oscar.
Yeah,
I
Ruffalo.
just- No one got SAG.
And Keaton, wasn't Keaton nominated
Keaton
too?
was not nominated for the Oscar. It was just Ruffalo
Okay.
and McAdams.
They were having
Okay.
trouble getting in, and then they settled on like.
Yeah,
okay,
because
Mark
they
Okay,
didn't
that's
put
what I
anybody
couldn't-
because they didn't put anybody for. Well, did they put Michael Keaton for lead or supporting that year?
They were all
because
supporting.
They
was-
Everybody was supporting.
They
Okay,
they
that's
didn't
an-
do they didn't put two people from the same movie and supporting actor until Three Billboards.
until 3 billboards.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Since Bugsy. Bugsy was the last time they did
Oh,
it.
wow.
Damn.
Yeah, it had been a while.
Yeah.
It had been,
Yeah.
yeah, because
And then it's
they came very
And then
close.
they
in
kept doing it.
because they
Yeah.
came very close in 06 for Nicholson and Wahlberg, and then only Wahlberg ended up getting it because who was the one that got in that had no precursors? Was it Jackie Earle
Jackie
Haley or
Earle Haley?
yeah, Jackie Earle Haley got in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
he
little
deserved
to
to
no
win.
precursors.
Yeah, he was
He
great.
did.
It was like Nicholson, Wahlberg, and Matt Damon. I think were all in supporting.
No,
Like-
Damon was late. Damon was
was
late.
he?
He
Yeah,
was-
Damon
yeah, no,
was
no,
the
no, and
lead.
I'll explain why. I'll
Yeah,
explain
so
why.
DiCaprio was supporting.
DiCaprio was supporting, yes, and you know why they
Oh,
did that?
Blood
Because
Diamond?
Yep, Blood Diamond. The same
Yeah.
studio was
Oh,
campaigning
that's so
both, and they
stupid.
figured it's so dumb.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it's the
Damon's
dumbest
not
decision they
for
could
it.
have made.
Yeah.
But that's at the time, that's what they were
You
doing.
want them to split votes. Whatever.
Yes.
That makes sense. And then
At
had
the
a lot-
time, it makes sense. In hindsight, you're like, what were you guys doing?
Well, it's
But-
Yeah.
crazy Jack Nicholson didn't get it because I watched that film and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like
Yeah.
he's like a villain in it. It's like
Yeah.
it just
Yeah, and it's Nicholson.
And
Right.
Yeah, it has been
Right,
Nicholson.
right,
Nicholson.
yeah.
he's awesome in it. Like, he rules.
But the fact that Wahlberg got in for having the least amount of screen time too, and he's the
awesome.
only one.
The one
nominated
Oscar
for that.
nomination he'll ever get, probably.
That whole movie is awesome.
Actually, here's a question. What's the last film that won Best Picture that didn't have PGA or SAG?
Right?
Wins or nominations?
Wins.
Ooh.
Oh,
that is a good
Like,
question.
Okay, actually, you know what? I actually have been
Parasite,
keeping.
Moonlight, Coda.
Let me check this
Spotlight.
now. Let me check this now. Okay, so PGAs. I actually have this saved for exact moments like this. Okay, so PGA last couple years
Life
we
is
know.
Beautiful. I don't know.
Nomadland. Okay, so 1917 got the PGA, but Parasite won the SAG in 2019. 2018,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
17 was another tie. Yeah, 16. Did Moonlight win SAG or no?
I don't think so. No, it was like Hidden Figures, right?
You're
I was
Figures
gonna say,
won
was
SAG.
it Hidden Figures?
So then it would. So then it would have been Moonlight because
Yeah, good
Hidden
call.
Figures got SAG and La La Land got PGA.
That's true. Moonlight. I had in my head that Moonlight.
So it would've
won
been
SAG, and
Moonlight.
You're totally right. It was Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't actually that far back. I think before that, I think Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. Well, that's the thing. So that year for PGA, Shape of Water got PGA. I thought it tied with Three Billboards for whatever reason.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Shape of Water got PGA. Yeah, because the 2015 year, that was The Big Short got PGA. And then, well, I don't remember what won SAG that year. SAG that year was, let me check here. 2015 SAG was... SAG that year. Oh, Spotlight won SAG. Spotlight won SAG
Spotlight
that
won
year.
SAG.
Okay.
Yep.
So Moonlight is like a real exception.
So Moonlight's the
and it's
anomaly
only
there.
exception this decade, I think. So
Well, this past decade, yeah.
again, I think that this is like the kind of year where that's,
Yeah.
that's what we're looking at.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Like we said, Brutalist is not eligible for SAG, but it didn't get nominated for SAG, but it's in. Like I said, that's still my choice as far as what's winning. That's the one to beat. We'll see. Obviously, what wins in the critic circles as we go on. I'm also going to be really interested. I know this usually doesn't make a lot of difference, but I am going to be curious to see what wins the BAFTA as well. I know that usually doesn't have as much of a bearing on Best Picture, but I don't know, for whatever reason, like I said, my bullshit like out of nowhere sense is really going off like crazy this year. So
I can see the Brutalist winning BAFTA.
yeah, so that's why I have a feeling that, like, even if for whatever strange reason, even if Brutalist misses SAG and PGA, I could still potentially see a winning picture just based off the BAFTA. Like, I could see that being this kind of a year. You know,
Weirdly, the
That's true.
BAFTAs have been like terrible at predicting Best Picture.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So that adds further fuel to
fair point.
my argument, right? The fact that they've been terrible at predicting Best Picture, this could be the year.
Could be
Like
Conclave.
it's going
yeah.
to be tempting if they give it to the Brutalist and they give it like 4 or 5
Right.
awards. Like,
But they could just
say, "Oh,
easily
that's
give it to
gonna go
Conclave
Oscars."
too. So
Yeah.
like Conclave to me is like a perfect BAFTA winning movie. So
I feel like it has a
Yeah,
stronger
I agree.
win to win at BAFTAs than it does at the Oscars, honestly.
Sure.
Conclave,
It's
sure,
winning BAFTA.
absolutely.
You guys
Absolutely.
convinced me. It's winning BAFTA.
Brutalist or Conclave?
Conclave.
Okay.
Or Amelia
Yeah.
Perez takes everything.
Oh
I
God,
hope
no!
not.
Stop speaking it into existence.
Stop.
Stop
No one
speaking
likes
into
that
existence.
movie. Why?
Literally.
I do.
I
don't
don't understand.
I like
Sex
it.
change
Oh, I like
operation.
it too. I just don't love it. I just think
Like,
it's,
listen, the
I'm with
story
you,
is
but-
good.
Penis to
If we're,
vagina.
if we're going off Amelia Perez, the story is not bad. I just the musical. I'm like, why? Why did it have to be a musical? I don't understand. It's so bad. Those elements. I'm like, when those come on, I'm like, what are we doing here? But the storytelling, I don't hate. I don't hate the movie. I was fully expected to hate this movie, and I'm like, oh, this is not. I didn't hate it as much as I thought it did. Like, I like it, but like, I liked it more than Nickel Boys. Hot take. I liked it more than Nickel Boys. Just throwing that out there.
yeah, hey, maybe it does well in preferential. If everyone's like, you know
Yeah.
what, I don't hate that movie, then I don't know.
Well, I think this is the big thing that everyone is kind of thrown off on is that we're like, oh, I thought we'd moved past message movies, you know, and also the fact that like message movies traditionally have not done well. So I think that's kind of like the shocker here.
But what message is it
What do you
sending? I
mean?
don't-
True.
Yeah,
True.
it's
Well,
such a muddled message.
again,
Yeah.
like Gascon basically had the Bruce Jenner thing from back during the Charlie Sheen roast. It's like, oh, trans rights, you know, our right to be accepted and viewed, and you know, all of that. So
They
that's
don't
kind of
tackle it that well, though.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
some ways.
Like, let
Amelia
me put it
Perez
this way.
is like a little, it's like a little cart of like different, hors d'oeuvres, and you can like pick your message from it, and none of them are explored very
Right,
deeply. It's
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
I
agree.
want this movie to be, I don't know, what was it, like child trafficking or something, and then there's like,
Yeah,
you know, trans activism or trans rights,
Yeah.
trans positivity, and then there's like
Yeah.
I forget what else, but
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was marriage issues. There was
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
stuff.
exactly.
more-
Domestic
it's just-
violence issues.
It's a more
Mexico,
polarizing
something
movie
Mexico.
than Crash was, I feel like.
Yeah, easily. Crash. The thing there is just the fact that nobody saw it coming because they're like, oh, this is like a popcorn movie that's like
yeah, neither did
sort
Paul
of
Haggis.
saying something about like.
It's a popcorn movie.
Well, I mean, it like, and that's a movie that like it was like a mid-budget level drama that like people
Yeah,
actually went
yeah.
to watch in theaters, but like it's not like on the level of like a Capote or a Good Night and a Good Luck or a Munich or like all the other movies that were like, oh, these are Oscar movies, you know?
Yeah,
Like even Walk the Line, I feel like it's more of like a traditional Oscar movie than
Yeah.
Crash
Yeah.
was. So that's kind of where I'm coming from as far as like the thing about Crash is not that. It's not that it's a bad movie, but it's like this. It's not like an Oscar movie at all. You know, like
Right.
like
I don't
again,
think it's good.
the movie.
but, yeah.
I don't hate that movie either. It's just that like compared to, but also again, Dustin, I know you and I have argued about this, but again, 05, the weakest year of that whole decade. You know,
Okay.
like on average. I'm sorry, there's more movies from 02 that are better than 05 on average. On average,
Yeah.
I have more movies from 02 that are better than 05. But like to put this in perspective, on my Letterboxd, I have Amelia Perez ranked above Wicked. I have it ranked above Challengers. I have it ranked above Love Lies Bleeding, but you guys know I am not a big fan of that movie. And I have it ranked above Conclave. I have it
That
ranked
is
above all
that
those
is
movies.
fucking nuts. That is
Yup.
fucking nuts.
Conclave.
Yep.
That is insane.
Yep. It's the gotcha twist. The gotcha twist ruined that movie for me.
I think the ending of Amelia Perez ruined it for me.
No, but see,
I like
I
the
was like-
I like the ending.
Anyway.
again, forgetting
It was
like
the
the
best
actual
part.
like
It was
march
the
at the
best
end, like the ending. I'm like, no, that was that this movie perfectly built up to that sort of an ending. Like there was
Yeah.
kind of no other way this could have ended. Conclave, I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, of course.
You just
yeah,
accept it.
I have a lot
yeah,
say, but,
for Conclave.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll get back to predictions.
Because I'm just like, because just by the logic of the movie, I'm like, so they were going out of this way to meticulously eliminate all of these other people, and then this is the one thing that, again, not having any real world implications, but directly goes against the rules of the church. They're like, nope, okay, we're fine with it. And I'm just like this movie should go on logistically for another like hour and a half off of this.
Yeah.
We're just ending, like, yeah. I don't know. My rant's done. That's kind of where I still have Brutalist winning Best Picture overall. So, in order to wrap this up, like I said, we're out of an hour 26. So, Justin, I know you said that was the cutoff for you but real quick. So, roundtable, I still have Brutalist winning. What do we have winning Best Picture? Kristen, go.
I have the Brutalist
All right, Dustin,
for Best
Brutalist.
Picture.
got it. Justin,
I'm Hail Marrying it and just saying Nora.
Nora, Nathaniel.
Brutalist. Can I share my 10 though by chance? Because I have some interesting things to say about the last.
All
two
right,
slots.
go ahead.
Okay. Because right now I have Nickel Boys at number 10.
Okay.
And a lot of this has to do with the fact that it's consistently been getting in the screenplay. And I think the passion for it, for the people who love it, really has been driving it forward. And it got the Golden Globe drama. And it didn't have to. So I have that in. And then at 9, I have A Real Pain.
Okay.
Because, and the reason being that I have this over Sing Sing is because, one, I think, Kieran Culkin's going to sweep the whole season. But also, like, it's a huge screenplay contender. It's been, everybody seems to really love it. And even though it missed it Critics' Choice, I really do think PGA, like, it's just been getting so much traction that I think, look, Sing Sing could easily make it in, but I feel like there's more consistent support for this movie across the board. And so that's why I have it in. And then, Dune, Wicked, Substance, and then 5, Complete Unknown, then 4, Conclave, 3, Amelia Perez and Nora. Brutalist, I think the top 4 could win potentially. I don't think anything else has a chance. But, so that's the 10 I have.
Got it.
You have the
Kristen?
same exact list as me. I just have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just have Nickel. I took up Nickel Boys, and I was thinking maybe like September 5th for some reason, because that's gonna get nominated. I feel like it has to.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But
I'm being
I pretty much
haunted
have
by
the same list.
image of like
Not
it
bad.
just popping up on screen and me being like just drained, like my
Yeah.
white as a ghost.
Oh
So I'm like preparing for that scenario.
God.
Me
So
too.
I'll just
Yeah.
make a last minute change only because again I did not see the PGA 5 the PGA 10 had been released before this, so I'm subbing out September 5 for Real Pain, and my last 2 spots are gonna be Real Pain and Sing Sing. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. We're all over the map on this.
Yeah, we're
one.
all over the map. Like I said,
The
Those are
last
healthy
two slots.
disagreements. Like it would
Yes.
be really strange if we all came away with the same 10.
like I said,
Right.
it's an interesting year. It's an interesting year.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad movie. I'm sorry, Nathaniel. I know you think that this past year was a great year. Bad movie years make for
I
interesting
disagree.
awards races.
I thought it was
Oh,
a good year.
Oh, you think it was a good
I
year?
do.
Yeah, I said that in that. I
Oh,
told you
man.
that.
Better than Better than 2014. Hot take.
That's I'm sorry. That's just
No,
wrong.
I
You're just
disagree.
blatantly wrong
the
there.
peaks in 2014 way better though. I'll say that.
No, oh my God.
Here we go.
2014
Here we go.
was a
Oh, yes.
great
Set 'em up.
year.
This
Set
is
'em
the
up.
most 5 stars I've ever given. So that's the basis I'm
Wow.
going off of. Yeah.
No.
But
No,
people
I'm
haven't
sorry,
seen
you're
the
wrong.
shit I've seen. So, let's throw that out there.
All right, we
All
get
right.
it. We know. But man. What great note to end it on. Oh, this should tell you exactly the type of year that 2024 was. Oh, man, this has been fun, guys. This has been a blast. Like I said, we were expecting to get the nominations tomorrow, but if anything, this helps build up more suspense and speculation as far as could there be some more surprises once the nominations get released next Thursday. Guys, it's been fun. This has been an absolute blast having all of you on. Let's go around table. Let's do some plugs as far as where everybody can find us. Kristen, start with you. Where can the good people follow you on the interwebs?
Okay, first of all, you can follow me at Miss Flamingo. I'm at Miss Flamingo. I have a brand new YouTube channel. My recent video I just posted is a interview with me along with the cast of Autumn and the Black Jaguar, excuse me,
What's
which
that?
is Cedars. It's like a family film.
Oh.
Check out the video and you'll see. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, man. Dustin, where can the good people follow you?
Also my podcast too.
Oh, yes.
Check her podcast out. I'm Mr. G Movie Reviews on YouTube, Dustin Mason on Letterboxd. Thank you.
All right. Justin, first time on, man. Happy to have you on. Hopefully this will not be the last time we have you. Where can the good people follow you on the interwebs?
You can follow me on the Oscar Expert, and you can go ahead and make your account an award expert to get predicting.
Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely. Like I said, we got one more week until the release, so if you haven't yet, download the app, get predicting. And Nathaniel, where can the good people follow you on the interwebs?
Well, this is also streaming on my channel, so I think
Wow.
most people know, where to find me. But if you don't, Nathaniel Ahart on YouTube, and of course you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, at Nathaniel_Ahart, and Letterboxd. I think the same. So yeah,
It is still the same, as I have checked. What's it called? And as always, people, you guys can follow me with everything going on at Movie Nerd Reviews across all platforms, at Official Talkin TV Podcast across all platforms. Subscribe to us on YouTube, wherever the hell this is streaming. I don't remember off the top of my head. I scheduled these videos like a week in advance, so I've already forgotten by the time this goes live. 12 seasons in a short film. Watch more fucking movies. You guys know the rest. We will see you guys in a week. We'll see how many of our predictions pan out. See ya.